Hey, Tiny T here, and I'm getting ready to put in a 4-light vanity bar. And what this is doing is replacing a old light that was up here and above the vanity. Right now I just got a light bulb in there, sorry about the light there, but as you can see, there's just a little hole coming through there. And what they had before was they had one of those strips that go across with the Hollywood type lighting. And my wife wanted a little bit different fixture. She liked these a little bit better. But my problem is, with this fixture, if I put it in where it's at right now, this won't be centered yet. And even if I move that up to the top of that hole, I'd probably get it up about that high, those covers come down within less than an inch of the top of that cabinet, which will block the light and also probably get kind of hot. So I'm not really wanting to do that. So what I'm going to do, these are made so they can kind of go either way. I'm going to flip them and put them up and get them down here kind of low. Probably was kind of centered on that hole. And what I have there, I bought one of these because I didn't realize there was a brace back behind that, but they got a board that goes clear across there. And so I bought one of these to put in to hold this fixture up. I was thinking that other one had went across and got into the studs on either side, but there's a board right back behind here that they went across there and got that in for that other brace for that other light that went there when they screwed into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mount, my center is right over here just to the right of that hole. So I'm going to attach my bracket here. Let that light, let me get out of that light so it ain't quite so bright on. I'm going to attach that up there and just screw that right into that brace. So that'll be nice and solid. I was a little worried, this ain't real heavy, but it's heavy enough with the shades and stuff on there, those glass covers, that it'd make a little bit of weight just to hang directly to the sheetrock, although one of these shouldn't have any trouble with those three flanges on there. It would have went in there and it would have supported that weight without any trouble. And then I would have mounted this to this here. But since I have that board in here that goes all the way across between those studs, I can just screw directly this bracket directly into that. It'll be over here a little bit farther, but I just screw that directly into there and rotate around, set my screws on that. Now this comes with 2 screws in it. This one was tightened down here, so I loosened it up so it would rotate. And then once you get it set down there, there's a screw that goes in there and holds that. So this is made to rotate on here, and you tighten that down and it would stay. But I'm going to try and get this nice and level so I can put this other screw back in here and have it, once I get it mounted, try and mount it level, and then turn it around, put that other screw back in, tighten everything down. That way it won't take a chance on turning. So let me get that. But I know I looked on the internet because I'm not a fashion guy or anything like that. My wife wasn't real happy, but if I put this up here and get it up there and we don't like it, it's real easy to take this down and tear into there, make a big hole, and move that up. What I suspect, I thought I'd only have this little hole to patch here if I moved this wire up, but that wire goes down, comes around on the other side of that brace back there, so I can't move that wire up very easily. And if it's attached to anything with staples, then I'm going to have to dig a big hole out of that to try and get back in there and move that. So I'm going to use that brace that's there and just turn this so the shades point up. I hate to say install it upside down because I don't really, they kind of made to be reversible depending on your preference. What I read was the light, is diffused better by pointing up. It didn't cause shadows and stuff like that. Another one said, no, it's not quite as bright, to light up things when you're shaving or in the mirrors. But right now I just got one light bulb in here and it lights things up. And I imagine with 4 light bulbs, it's going to make it a whole lot brighter, and bouncing off the ceiling, it'll be a lot better than just that single light bulb. So, but we'll get her installed. Like I say, I'll start with the metal part here first. Start with this part, get that, and all I'm going to do is just screw this bracket into that brace, then rotate this back around and tighten it down, and then mount this fixture to it. So one thing to be sure before I work with the electrical on that, I'm going to make sure the power is off. So I'm going to cut not just the light switch, but I cut the breaker, and sometimes, besides the breaker, I just cut the whole power to the house. So usually just a breaker though. If I can find which one it is fairly quickly. I don't have any other lights in this bathroom, so it doesn't help me to leave anything else on. All my tools are battery operated, so I'll be using for this. So that part doesn't matter. But anyway, let me go get this mounted, and we'll come back after I get that part. Okay, on the back of this bracket, it didn't sit flush against the wall. I got the little indentation that comes out from here for that screw goes through, and here for the threads are at. And so what I'm going to do is up here in the wall, I am going to drill a couple of holes for those hit so that it will sit back there recessed. So that's what I'm going to do here now, because with those, otherwise it's kind of sitting level. Maybe it squashed down there once I cinched it down, but I want to make sure it sits level across there. So I'm going to, or flat. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those out so it gives some place for that indentation where the screw goes through there to sit recessed in there. There, now I got that, it sits flat there. I actually had to drill 3 holes because there's 3 indentations. I missed one next to the other screw. Let me show you here. Yeah. Going across there. I got this one, and that one. So I had to drill a hole for each one of those so it would sit flat there. But now it sits flat, so I am good to go to get the screws and cinch that down. Okay, as you can see, I've cut the breaker to the light switch, to the lights here, above the power to the one light bulb I had there. It is dark in here, so I went and got my DeWalt light, and lo and behold, both batteries were dead. So I'm going to have to wait until at least one of these charges. So lesson night before, you gotta do something, check, make sure your batteries are plugged in. I do have another DeWalt drill that I use, but they're a different battery that won't fit on the light. I don't have a light that fits that one. So anyway, once I get this charged up, I'll get back and we'll finish up and show you how to hook up the wires and install the light.